Greetings. Definitely finna touch on this phrenology. For sure. Let me get some people in the room. This how I share this. Y'all share this live. Peace to the gods. What's going on? Y'all tap that screen, share that live, so we can go ahead and get it started. See, we got these elongated skulls. We're gonna be tapping on phrenology. Friend, P-H-R-E-N. Friend means skull. We know ology means the science of. So phrenology is the science of skulls. Yeah, we're gonna tap into it. And we're not only looking at the back of skulls. When you study in the front of the skull, that's called the phenotype. So, as I always say, the phenotype don't lie. Phenotype don't lie. It's just like saying the molecular structure. It don't lie. We know what we're dealing with based on the molecular structure. We know what we're dealing with based on the phrenology, the skull structure. Yeah, I appreciate that. Tapping the screen, I appreciate that, brother. Tap the screen, share the live, even if you're sharing it to one of your, my favorite haters. You know what I mean? Go ahead and get them. Peace. Y'all tap that screen, share that live. Appreciate you. Alright. I be wondering what the discrepancy is when people say they don't look like a certain people. I need to comprehend what's the science behind what they're saying. Is there any science to what people are talking about? We not these people, or we not those people. Is that based in fact? Are they comparing that to phrenology? Are they saying that based on science? Is there anything factual about what they're saying? Because your skull ain't gonna lie. It won't matter what part of the world you in. You are of the same stock as, the skull that you have. The skull that you have is of a certain stock of people. It is what it is. Let's touch on it a little more. We're going to come back to all these images, though. Let's see. Right? I think I got some better ones. I got a lot of them for y'all, trust me. Oh, no, I ain't gonna show you that yet. We're gonna come back. Hold on. right? This why the phenotype matters, and this why phenotype don't lie, right? Even looking at the front of the skulls, you can tell, based off the skull, you'll be able to tell what was the species, or the type of the race of this person, right? Because even the breathing area, the nose, it'll be a lot thinner, a lot smaller when it's Caucasian, right? Like even the native Peruvian that we're looking at, who lived in the 15th century, aka the 1400s, has a rather thin nostril, just like, especially the one down here. What's this? Oh, a male Inuit. Look at the Inuit with the thin nose. Of course, they're going to say this is based on living in cold regions, that this is why the noses get like that. And if you see the first one on the bottom left, this is from the Solomon Islands. And we know these very melanated people. And you can see by the skull how wide the nose is, how wide the nasal cavity is. And that's just based off the skull. Right? Even the eyes are larger. Right? You can tell by the male German, out of all of these, it has the thinnest nasal cavity. These are all different races of man. And the male German represents the traditional European. It has a very thin nasal cavity. The Zairian, or the person from Zaire, has a wide nasal cavity. Phenotype don't lie. Like, they can pick up skull and bones and tell you the race of that. They'll be able to do a composite to render this person's face once again, because they've seen enough skeletons of people that actually live, so that they know precisely that this nasal cavity can only make a certain nose, that nasal cavity can only make a certain nose. So same thing over the eye sockets and everything, the skulls, right? We're gonna get back to this phrenology. Showing you how the skull type fits the actual face type. Showing you that phrenology don't lie. People not having these same features and not being of the same stock. It just don't happen. No different than you having children. They'll all be of the same stock and have a lot of you in them, right? Let's look at this. Obviously, we got the Caucasoid skull. Yeah, Caucasoid. It says light skin, rosy, gold, brown shades. Okay, they're giving them brown shades of skin tone. All right, straight hair, red, blonde, brown tones, right? Narrow, elongated skulls. I always kind of thought the Caucasoid had more of a flat skull, but it is more round compared to like the Mongoloids. So I see what they're trying to say, but it's not really elongated. slightly, right? Small eye sockets and light eye colors. So that's what I'm saying. Even by studying the skulls, we can tell the actual race of them. You can tell the race. Because phenotype don't lie, you know? So phenotype is your features. Just like we touching on phrenology. Phrenology meaning the science of the skulls, or the study of the skulls. You know, the science of the skulls, right? So phenotype is the type of features you have. Of course, we're talking about the face. So even a skeleton has particular phenotype that we can tell a mile away, right? If it has these small eye sockets, it's going to produce the same eyes as the European or the Caucasoid, which is, and light eye colors, etc. The Mongoloid, yellowish skin, black straight hair, sparse beard, broad face. So when you see in the skeleton, you see how the arrows are pointing out, showing you it's more broad in these areas, and it's more inward in these areas, showing how down by the cheek. Edge to edge bite, right? Shovel shape and scissors. I'm talking about the teeth. So people have shovel shape and scissors, or a mongoloid stock. Narrow flat nose. Epicanthic folds, talking about above the brow. And I guess the epicanthic folds are of Denisovan stock. This is where they get the large brow. Right? So it's an epicanthic fold. Their typical upper eyelid skin fold and brown eye color. Right? Then we have the capoid. Just to show you what he looks like once again, he's like the Khoisan. What they call it, the capoid. And cap, means the head. So the capoids could be looked at as the first type of skull, but we are talking about the Khoisan people, the oldest people, right? Leathery. Oh, okay, leathery yellow skin, small stature. Females often stereoplegic. Yeah, stereoplegia is junk in the trunk. You feel me? Baby got back, all that kind of stuff. Is science says name that a disease called stereoplegia, right? But it's actually just junk DNA. This is what we call it, junk in the trunk. The oldest people in the world have stereoplegia. This is not by accident. The newest people in the world have flat rear ends, just like they have flat skulls in the back. Pay attention, right? And black spiral shaped peppercorn hair, flat faces, prominent molars, right? So large teeth, flat and wide nose. You see how flat the face is of the capoid? When you're looking at the phenotype, everything is completely flat from the forehead to just above the chin. I mean, I'm sure the nose probably even lays down. Like this end is a flat, wide nose. Narrow eyelid apertures. Abacanthic eye folds. Like they say, Asian similarities. Comparing to the Mongoloid, of course. because they both have the amphicanthid folds, right? Dark brown eye color, because they both have Denisovan DNA. They have the largest. They have the largest amount of Denisovan DNA. I appreciate y'all coming through. Tap that screen for your boy. Now we at the Congoids. Because once again, we touching on phrenology. Like, friend, P-H-R-E-N. Friend means skull. Ology means the science of. So phrenology is the science of skulls. Right? And there's no way around the fact that the skulls are based on specific people. It's like your child being born without it. You might question if that's your child. He doesn't have the head that your family has. Or whatever the case may be. So, dealing with the Congoid, and of course, not only phrenology, but we touching on the phenotype, which is your type of features that your face has. So all of this can be told by looking at even a skull. Even without the flesh, we can tell what we're dealing with a mile away. So Congoid, black skin color, light curled black hair, lightly curled black hair, prognathic jaw, large teeth, flat and wide nose with a low root, absent nasal spine. So they just got a more of a wide nose. That's what they're saying. They're saying it doesn't have that large bone that some people have that looks like a beak. Some people's nose looks like, it's very similar to Toucan Sam. Not the Congoid. It may be very wide, but it's not bony. You know what I mean? So wide space between eyes. They don't have unibrows and eyes very, very close to each other. So dark brown or black eye color. And then of course we got the Australoid. Right? Chocolate skin color. Silky, black and wavy hair. Large brow ridge. They also have the Denisovan DNA in a high propensity. Right? I appreciate y'all tapping that screen. Appreciate you. It's me, Mr. Fresh. And I appreciate all the rest of y'all been tapping it. Appreciate you. But, broad, flat nose. Large, heavy jaw and prognathism. So he got, the prognathic jawline along with the seemingly Denisovan brow. Dark brown or dark eye color. Right? So that's the Australoid, the Congoid, the Capoid, the Mongoloid, and the Caucasoid. You have one of these skulls. You have one of these skulls. There's no way around it. You know what I mean? Now, this is the thing about going into what they call it the 6 root race. Because at this moment, you can say that this is what they truly mean by the 5 root races. And a capoid, like I say, the word cap means head. So being the head makes you the first. So the capoid would probably be the first type of skull, which is the Khoisan people, the oldest people with the oldest genetics. So it seemingly makes sense, right? So we can take it like this is indeed the 5 root races. Because Australoid could also be looked at as a first. But I'm sure a Congoid could be looked at as a first. But we're going to definitely go along with the Khoisan being that it's just their location is important because they represent all melanated people, but they're in Asia. It's like what? These older people obviously eventually produce these Caucasoid and Mongoloid stocks. Hey, peace to everybody just came in. Y'all tap that screen. And when my moderators, we got to throw the trash out every now and again. Because this person only got a little bit longer to play games. Matter of fact.
How you doing?
What's going on with you?
Just looking at what you got. It's interesting. I was thinking of questions. I think you were kind of answering them though by saying mongoloid and shit. I did learn this in college. I took anthropology,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't my major. I was just listening.
Yes, sir. I was just kind of baffled by your comment. I didn't know what was going on. I was like,
Because the dude on the top's got the blonde hair, so he looks kind of like Eminem.
ah, ah, okay. I see what you're saying now. Yeah, but can you agree? Like you said, you studied this. Like every human on Earth has one of these skulls.
That's what they say, which I agree with. You get into like the land bridge that comes across from Russia to what's now Alaska,
Mm-hmm.
and that has something to do with mixing. And then I think every once in a while, someone tries to say there's a new discovery, but no, yeah, you're totally right. And then what you were saying about the Negroid and the Australian one being like the two sources, because the
Yeah.
Negroid one had the chance to expand and the Australian one was stuck on like that island continent. So those are
Yeah.
like the two.
So that makes it so ancient. Like it's the most unexplainable.
Yeah.
These
Well,
Australians.
they couldn't travel. They were stuck in one spot.
The biggest question is how did they get there?
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
Um,
to been there for over 50,000 years, and there's no land bridges that ever connected to Australia. That meant what? Like, were people born in did they come from the soil or did they obviously travel there? That would be some ancient traveling
right.
by,
And
by
I
boat.
think I think they were more than capable of building boats out of Africa and doing it because in the scale of time, they had to just eventually get lucky and like catch the right breeze sailing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's gonna float. It's gonna make it regardless. I know what you
Right.
mean. Right.
And you just got to think of how many didn't make it for those to make it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was across my mind instantly. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I kind of think the Heidelbergensis has something to do with all of this too, right?
And what's that
Because
exactly? I don't pretend to know shit, even if I took the
yeah,
class at one time.
yeah, I know what you mean. I'm just saying that put it like this, in India has had human life for over 800,000 years.
Right.
That's like that's like nearly a million years.
Right.
And we know that also to be South Asia. So this is the most southern tip of Asia, which is southern India. India had life for a million years, over 800,000 years, but they never talk about it. They call the species the Heidelbergensis, right?
Right. And they walked upright and they made fire and all that, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
So
I would go with that.
yeah, because if they were so wise to, uh, leave Africa, because for some reason they give the Homo sapien sapien all of the credit because he left out of Africa. Well, the Heidelbergensis did it almost a million years ago. I mean, I don't be
Right.
getting it. I don't be understanding. I'd be like, well, why aren't they special? You know? And obviously that stock probably traveled all the way to places like Australia.
Yeah,
You know.
because they're closer. So for the sailing.
Hmm.
Well, I'm gonna let you go,
Hmm. Hmm.
or you let me go,
Appreciate you.
or whatever. You have a good night.
All right. Yeah, we touching on it. Let me flip this screen for y'all. But like I'm saying, this is the five root races. There's never been, a better. I don't think there's ever been a better example. Everything else is always like cartoon images. You feel me? It's like written in old folklore, speaking on the five root races. But this is truly it. It's the five skull types of man. So we're gonna say the five root races. Races based on skull type. Right? So to say five root races would mean the five skulls, the five root skulls that we all come from. Mhm. Now, of course, we can see an admixture here and there, but for the most part, that's kind of what we that's kind of what we're messing up, because that's where this thing about the six root race comes from. It's like saying all of this melting pot and merging together is going to create a sixth type of skull, eventually a seventh type of skull, where there would be no more elongated skulls. All of them would be more flat towards the back. We are the ones with elongated skulls. So if there's going to be no more elongated skulls, are we paying attention to who's, going to be gone? Who's going to disappear in the process? Peace, good brother. What's going on with you? Got my brother Cool Fox in the building. Guess he's getting his mic right. Yep. Definitely about the shaving skull. My boy Vita, man. What's been up with you, Vita?
What's good, man?
Hey, what's going on with you, Cool Fox?
I'm here chilling at work, man. Can spend 5 minutes saying live. You know, you always got some good shit.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you always got some good.
I'm definitely trying to introduce them to what they truly meant when they talk about the five root races. Like we've heard about it like it's mythology or something, but we know race is based on skull type. So this is the top. This is the five type of skulls that there is for mankind, right?
Yep.
And this is what they mean by five root races.
And I need to borrow that document.
All right.
That
Yep.
document look real good, man. Man, I like it. I like your research, man. I like the way you take your time and go through stuff, man. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all. What's going on, brother Vita?
Everything good, man. From the information you just share with the life. I remember when I was smaller and I got my first niece. I remember I was touching her head and my parents was telling me, like, don't do that. I might change the shape of her skull while she was
Mm-hmm,
growing up. So,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
like if you look at the Mayan paintings and some Africans, you can see that they wrap their heads to get the elongated skull. So, like the images that you're showing right now, those are the natural shape, or you could say those are the shapes that evolve according to time.
Exactly.
Yeah, blood clot vid, wagwan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I am.
I got my brothers. I got my brothers in the building.
Yeah, tell them, man.
For
If you big
real.
up yourself, yeah, vid.
You don't know
Big
my
up yourself,
boss.
man. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm glad you're chipping so you can get some knowledge. You realize now where the
Yeah.
Nazarenes are, right? You realize now when the Rastaman are come up with them locks and all them tongue traditional from the Israelites, right? So you remember, I don't know if you're Jamaican, but if I know some people sound have the Jamaican accent, but I'm not Jamaican. But
No, Antigua come from still.
yeah, man, that's big up yourself, same, man, brother. Well, one regardless,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if you notice, you're in Antigua and them have Rasta, right? They have dreadlocks, right?
Yeah.
And
Of course.
the lineage of the Israelites, you can't find it nowhere else in the world until Selassie and even when Selassie went over Egypt and all those stuff, it wasn't there. It was among us still from in the land of America, proving the locks coming from the tribe of the Israel. So you know where we are coming from, the Nazarenes. In Jamaica, it's the tribe of Benjamin. Um, because I don't have the document right now, I'm at work and just trying to, and I hear my brother speaking, so I just come up to just, saying that the skull that he's showing up there, real talk, and I love it. I wouldn't mind have those documents in my arsenal, but I'm gonna research and find some for myself.
Hey,
'Cause
bro, imagine the long head person at the top
right,
saying that the long headed person on the right don't look shit like him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's just crazy. Then the two guys at the bottom, they doing the same thing. Like, man, he don't look shit like me. Like, come on, man. Like, is we crazy? We going we going nuts. You feel me? Like, we sitting around with the same skulls, the same phrenology, the same phenotype. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't no denying. It ain't no denying.
no denying, no denying at all.
Not with science. You know, they can do it with just pure conjecture, but they don't have nothing to back that up scientifically.
Nothing,
But
nothing to back it up.
if you check
Because
it out, right? I just basic common sense, right? Like if you have a small plant, right, and you start shaping it from young, when it grow older, it will normally stick with that shape. You check.
Yep.
So if it's like let's just say your customer laying on your back and the back of your head is on a pillow constantly from a young age, so your head will naturally be flat at the
Sleeping
back.
on concrete. Huh?
Yeah. So your skull is a soft bone, just like any other part of your body. So the more time you spend on that part of your head, it will be deformed or transformed, if you understand.
Exactly. Yep. Easy.
Yeah.
Now check this dude out. Huh? Who who is that? Huh? Good old
Rothschild.
Jacob Rothschild, huh? So this why they are who they are, huh?
Yeah.
He not sitting on a normal Caucasian skull. He got an elongated skull.
Mm.
Hmm? You have a
Yeah.
different stock to have that kind of skull. For real. Not, it's just crazy.
Most
Like
of those,
obviously his
most of those,
bloodline took over that stock of people, but he's still rocking. He still got the skull. He still got the mind frame.
most of those shape heads comes from wrapping your head. That's why
Yep.
when you look at most Rastafarians or the modern culture right now, when they wrap their head, their skulls look elongated, although they
Yep.
might not have done it at a young age.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen it. I was gonna collect a couple of those images too, but I don't even know if I did. Let me see. But I know what you're talking about. How they wrap it up,
Yeah.
especially like in Africa, they still doing it right now.
But right now, people will look at that kind of culture and shun it. I don't know what they have against body modifications, but it's been there for ancient times. Now they think about it as barbaric or uncivilized, but it's actually human nature to be creative and have different shapes and
Mhm. Exactly. And my brother was right when he said some heads are from binding, others are natural with
yeah.
different joints. Yeah, for sure.
You see, like in modern times now, with people wearing headsets, they show they have
Exactly.
they have they have examples of what the human head would look like, or the gamer's head would look like with the big indent across the middle of the skull.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Like Shimon Perez definitely has a mongoloid skull. But you got Jacob Rothschild with the elongated skull.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
And you never know. They could be practicing the same type of ancient culture of wrapping their heads.
Yep.
Because we don't know how they live, you know? We just see them periodically.
Exactly. Like they love to copy the gods anyway. You
Yep.
feel me? But the thing is, like, look at a person like Shaman Perez right there. He couldn't do that to his head if he wanted to. Like, the Mongoloid skull is just so flat. It's so flat in the back. Normally, the Caucasian skull is too. But,
True.
like, I ain't gonna lie, like, see, people like to discredit phrenology as being pseudoscience. You feel me? But literally, they've studied the skulls of a lot of different people. And in particular, I'm speaking on how they used to study the skulls of all the people that's ever been on death row, right?
Hmm.
They had all the skulls of everybody who been on death row. They had a mold of their skull, and all of these, 80% of the skulls were all they had flat back of the skull. The back of the skull was very flat, like Shaman Perez.
It
You feel me?
depends on your lifestyle also. Because people that have an easier life or have more time on their hand, they will spend more time laying down,
Mhm.
relaxing. So the back of their
Imagine coming from the cave. If you come from the cave with that concrete and you land on the back of your head,
that would
yeah,
it will
that may
ultimately
mess up.
shape you differently. Rather than a
Right.
person that's hunting, always on their feet, they have more of a square head,
Exactly.
you know.
Yep. There's been a lot of wild skulls throughout history. Especially like I always been baffled by the one at the bottom that looks like it's two heads. This is where we get Yakub from, huh? For real. Wow.
But to me, I think the cone head is more of what do I be? Is the more useful shape to me. But it is not the ideal shape for a warrior because anything with a peak would take damage at the highest point of density, which be the top. So easy would be to crack a person's skull like that. So naturally, the person with the square head would have a better chance at war. So I usually think that the elite or the person with highest standing in society would go for that type of peak head.
Yeah, look at Akhenaten and Thutmose the third. Uh, all of them had them long, 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 elongated skulls.
And you can see that their heads go further to the back instead of going to the top, like one of them cone hats.
Hmm.
You ever saw one of those ancient headrests? It's not actually a pillow, it's more like a neck brace that
Hey,
could
yeah, yeah. I
you
seen
while
that.
you.
I say, no wonder we made that in we so called made that invention. But it's
Yeah.
old. It's just old.
So instead of squishing the back of the head to turn to a flat shape, they hang the back of their head down.
Hmm. Please more. Exactly. And
Uh,
according to phrenology, people with elongated skulls uh, have more room or basically a higher propensity for religion. Like they can
uh,
encapsulate religion more so than other skulls. For some reason, that's what they're saying. So actually, they'll use that against you. You feel me? Being that we're not these flat, narrow minds or minded people with the flat, we're more of the elongated type of skulls. We have large heads. You know, like once again, I'm gonna show. gonna show them 5 scores again, so they can keep up, right? Like we want, we want, one of these three. And I'm sure there's a lot of people here, so we're all 5 of these. Let me say that because I'm sure a lot of people in the room. But I was just talking to my brothers by saying that we're these three. You know, we're of the Australoid type of skull, as we can see. Some
Mm-hmm.
of us. We're of the Congoid type of skull, you know, which is I gotta look at my own phenotype from the side more often, so I can really pick up on this. But I'm like a Australoid Congoloid. I'm a Congoid skull. I'm not the Capoid, you know,
Yeah,
kind of, but not with the face. It's just too flat. It's just way too flat. That's not me.
mine would be more like a mongoloid kind of, because like the back of the head and somewhat like the capoid.
Hmm.
Some, but again, it depends on the environment you're around and how your custom of living. That can also shape your skull differently.
Hmm.
When
Hmm.
it comes to like the jawline, my own is more like the capoid.
Now watch this. Can anything change the phenotype? Ain't nothing going to be able to change this size of these eye sockets and these nasal cavities.
No, no.
You know
You'd
what I
have to
mean?
hit your face from a young
Yeah.
age for that.
See how these cheekbones are literally a part of the skeletons? You know, like these things ain't gonna be able to check. That's why I say phenotype don't lie.
The back of the head can change, but the front and the side, you'd have to be like in a car accident or some shit for that to happen.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But based on what we were born with, you know what I mean? It just ain't no,
Yeah.
ain't no other way.
Like right now, it's really rare to find a pure-blooded any human right now. But people usually intermix with other races.
I'm See, I feel like I don't know which one of them I really am. It's kind of like I'm kind of like Australoid, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to because I got so much hair on my head, I can't even see my head like I used to. You
I was
know?
gonna say the exact same thing because like I shaved my head a few like maybe like 2 years ago,
Yeah,
and it was like noticing you look kind of like the copwoid
yeah.
mixed with a white kind of
Yeah.
vibe.
Hey,
But
that's
the
the
front,
oldest genes, man. That's the croissant,
yeah,
the oldest people.
but the jawline is more like the mongoloid.
Hmm.
That's almost like me right there.
Now, when I
Check.
look at the phenotype, I like see I got more cheeks than an Australoid, but I got like that. I got everything he got in the middle, like his nose, his lips. You know what I mean? But I actually got cheekbones. His stuff is just like flabby, like laying there. You know?
The only thing that will set me aside from the mongoloid is the eyes. I have big eyes. Check. So when it comes to like the eyes, I'll be more like a caucasoid when it comes to like the eyes. But the cheekbones and right, you see, that's more like my eyes.
Kind of close together.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, man. Like we definitely just tapped in. Cause this the 5 root races that nobody's ever really broken down.
no, but the whole race theory is very controversial because people get offended if they hear that anything else but black or white, like
Yeah,
black and white.
because the original Caucasoid skull was a melanated person. Like
Yeah.
that's definitely been shown. But at this day and age, that skull is predominantly YT man,
What
predominantly European.
about it, like
But it,
you've seen like Arabian people with Caucasoid features.
most definitely, most definitely. Yeah, people who are the fathers of Europeans do have that skull,
Yeah.
and the fathers are not the color of Europeans. You know,
Okay, so think about it. If you were to just guess the race or the shape of the head, what you would classify the Olmecs as? Because none of these categories include the features of the Olmec.
that's my bad. My daughter. Yeah, I'm back. My bad.
If I were to say, I would probably say that the Olmecs would be like an Australoid mixed with like a Congo or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, they are Australasians, so to speak.
Olmec is between like the Congo and the
Yep.
Australoid.
Yep. Congo, Australoid.
And the modern races would be like the Capoid and the Caucasian. We normally see that every day. Well, me, I can't speak for everybody, you check. So
Exactly. So I'm trying to think.
it's very rare to come across your Australoid features.
Y'all make sure y'all tap that screen, share it live. Even if you share it to my favorite haters, I'm just saying. I welcome it all. I welcome it all. You know what I mean? It's all love, honestly. I'm just joking. Matter of fact, let me put your boy back up there. Since y'all in the room, y'all check your homeboy out. Huh? Check your homeboy out. Anybody know that guy? Anybody know that guy on the screen? Or anybody
Yeah.
can read? Can they read? Yep, Jacob Rothschild.
And people swear he Caucasian.
And he ain't sitting on a regular Caucasoid skull. He got an elongated skull, man. It's crazy. Like they on something else. Like this is what they mean by the Moors going into Europe coming out white. Coming out pale. Educational purposes. So seriously. Because the skull may still lie with the people, even though they done lost their skin tone. Once again, this is why that phenotype don't lie. That phrenology is a real thing.
No, I guarantee. You see, the black nobility people keep blaming for our situation.
Yeah,
I can bet you have black
yeah,
ancestry.
exactly.
And the whole term black etymologically, like in etymology, bring it back to pale.
Yeah,
You know,
so, exactly. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody want to talk about black nobility and talk about who at the top. Them people not even dark skinned no more. You feel me?
the whole history, man.
The people they hooping and hollering about that was us. They ain't. You know, for real. Hey, matter of fact, we was just talking about this kind of skull. Even though he a melanated man, he has that skull, more of that Caucasoid type skull, almost Mongoloid.
I guarantee you, if he was rapping his head from a young age, he would have one of those cone heads. I just guarantee you that.
What is he gonna use? What can he push upward? He don't have nothing hanging over the cliff in the back. You feel me?
It would just go up. It's only up from there.
Man, he gonna have the tiniest cone head out of everybody. You know what I mean? Like
He would,
him and Shimon Perez, they don't have nothing to push up. Feel me?
the
Like
Shaggy Perez look like Phineas. If you watch Phineas of Ferb,
Like, watch this once again. Like, you see the back of these skulls?
Congo.
Those three, Australoid, Congoid, Capoid, they got something hanging over the cliff back there. Over, where the spine lies, they have, a nice amount of skull.
Well,
Long,
those because
stretching out.
the cone will go back. The other ones
Now,
will go up.
now what you gonna push upward with that mongoloid skull? You ain't pushing nothing up. You know, even the Caucasoid skull has something to push. You know, but I ain't gonna lie. I guess a lot of Caucasoids are mongoloids. But I know a lot of YT people that have that flat skull. But I ain't gonna say a lot. But it's just a lot of mixture of people. You know what I'm saying? So many people are a mixture that you seeing a lot of things going on. You be like, wow.
But upset me. Like people look at the ancient Mayans and they look at the head shape, and they never ask themselves how the head got that way.
Exactly. Yeah.
They thought that just occur naturally. It don't work like that. Heads don't just cone naturally. You shape your head to be a cone from a young age, and you can't do it when you pass a certain age, like 7, 8. Your bones already well formed.
Like, this is why archaeologists can find skulls and tell you the race, because all race is based off skulls. It's based off skulls. Oh, you want to see the Rothschild again? I got you. Y'all go ahead and get your screenshots. Get them. Get them. Move the comments out the way. Put them on blast. Know what I mean? Real. And you can tell that first one was definitely like wrapped up. That dark skull was very wrapped up because you can tell how much pressure was on the middle part.
Yeah, the third one, yeah, that,
Yeah, a lot of pressure was on that middle part. That one in the middle, he was like, "Man, my head was born to be like this." You know what I'm saying?
Come
Like
have
his head just glad to go that way. Like, yeah, up, up, up. But this is where they saying the large foreheads come from. They say by doing this, a lot of people in certain cultures have large foreheads. Yep, Jacob Rothschild. You know,
head shape.
Rothschild means red shield. So the red shield is what we call Red Cross. We see it all the time. We see the Red Cross. We donate to the Red Cross. All of that kind of stuff. We thought they was doing justice, uh, at least a little bit, But no, the red shield is what we call Rothschild or Rothschild. Roth meaning red, like Ruth. Roth meaning
Somebody
red.
said, somebody
Child, child meaning shield. Hey, maybe you got a little Nephilim, man. That's just like when we claim Egyptian. That's what the elongated scores were too. Paracas and Egypt, Syria. I can show you all of even the Olmecs. Come on now, we talking about elongated skulls everywhere.
elongated skull was a sign of nobility. That's why they don't let you do it anymore. Because most people are enslaved still.
Oh, they'll be mad we do that again
Yeah.
and go to school with them. You know what I'm saying? and we got all the knowledge, they be like, oh man, I don't like him. I'm scared of him. I think he can read my thoughts.
Busy,
Yep.
busy. I will be
Oh,
proud.
trust me, they over the Red Cross. You to my own it. They over it. Damn own it. You think you know who own it. They are the Red Shield, aka the Red Cross. Don't start that. Don't you think Jacob Rothschild is a Christian? Do your research.
What do you think Christian is the most popular religion?
Yeah.
Before real, man.
Where was these found? It's written right there on each one of them. At the top you see Maya, then Akan. What is Akan? Akan is Afro-Akan, what you call African. Uh, you see Olmec, the bottom left. You see
I think
Syria.
Akon is from Ghana.
Hmm? What happened?
Uh, when you say Akan, I think Akan is from Ghana.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Some people even used to tie like flat pieces of wood at the back to get it straight, so you can go straight up.
Mhm. Cone heads, huh? So that's why the Jacob Rothschild them. Oh man, that's why the movie. Okay, the movie Coneheads might have been talking about the Rothschilds.
Hmm.
I got to look at it in a different light, and now I got to look at it in a whole different way. I thought they was imitating us. They imitating the Rothschilds, the white conehead. Huh? Wow. Come on
You see, look at that. That's almost like me right
now.
there. Big ears, nose bridge, kind of indented.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Some are fine without the force. Like the ones who don't need their skull to be forced for the real nobility.
Yeah,
Like when we talking about the King Tuts and all of them, like that bloodline was supposed to just been born with those skulls, and everybody else was imitating the royal class. That's just all it is. You know, if if Tupac got a tattoo across his chest, everybody want that same tattoo across their chest. You know, I've seen people make, uh, for educational purposes. I've seen people make gangs that was associated with that same thug life. They all had it on their chest just because. You know what I mean? So they're
it's,
imitating
it's an
nobility. They're imitating the royal.
history.
That's what it's boiling down to. Real, all around the world. Hold on, all these people in here. I think y'all coming to see Jacob Rothschild. That's what y'all popping up in here for. Y'all keep popping in. They're like, hold on, you got Jacob Rothschild. Mhm. So yeah, a dark skinned person can bear all of the five different skulls that I've shown, but they would all be still considered a different race. Mhm. Because you're not just finding that everywhere. You're finding that where you find that specific, that race commonly. Hey, you got that head. Hey, now you got to go get that bread. They owe you, man. They owe you, man. I'm telling you. That skull ain't lying. Phrenology don't lie. You are your ancestors. Peace to the gods coming in the building. Y'all ain't get me over 3K, man. Y'all, that's tough, man. Y'all tough. Y'all say y'all do, but I appreciate the real ones though for liking it, tapping on the screen. And, and y'all got my co-host tapping, man. Y'all supposed to be tapping, man. What's wrong with y'all? Yeah, we tapping into phrenology, you know. Phren, Phren, means skull. Ology means the science of. So we're talking about the science of skulls, right? All race is based off skull types. That's why people say there's no such thing as race, because you find dark skinned people with each type of skull there is. But we're predominantly, and we own a monopoly on specific skulls. So this is why they make us the face of gold. You know, like you can't find this skull in another race of person, right? I guess I'll put it back up to you.
You see
Yeah.
what is on skulls. You're mostly talking about the front of the face, not the back of the head, because like you say, you can always change that,
Mm-hmm.
especially with plastic surgery and stuff.
So
You just think about Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson changed the whole front of his face because he had the money to do it, you know. But naturally, if you look at Michael Jackson, you could say he looked like a caucasoid, but people still label him as black. You understand? Because he was born with
well,
dark
he was
skin.
definitely well, you know, the the YT Michael Jackson. YT Michael Jackson would have looked like a Caucasoid phenotype, but actually Michael Jackson pretty much looked like a capoid.
I know you mentioned it, but the jawline, no, not by the jawline though.
Now, one thing about it, the Congoid, that's James Brown phenotype. Feel me? Real. Like the Australoid got the red fox phenotype. You feel me? Look like red
Yeah, yeah.
fox. Big ugly. You know what I mean? Like real. Like you can see it all. You see it all. And there ain't no way around it. Yep. But yeah, man. I definitely appreciate you coming up here with me, man. I'm gonna probably get out of here in a little minute.
That's safe, man.
And knock the socks off. The only people socks got knocked off was the people who actually came in and you know what I'm saying? Been here for a little minute. But I appreciate the ones coming late or whatever. I appreciate you. Yeah, like come on. Like we just was reading, you know, the logistics, if you will, of all the phenotypes of all these different skulls, showing how the Congo, you know, the Congoid had the large eye sockets and the large teeth. So look at that skull number 12. It's like got the same everything. You know what I mean? Like all of this different stuff. Like you can tell the race based on the skull and the phenotype. Phenotype don't lie. Yeah, you can see some of them got cracks, of course. Exactly.
Those cracks are natural. Nobody have a smooth skull.
Yep.
What I'd like to see is the shape of the brain.
I just wanted to show that Mississippian culture connection real quick while I'm in here just to make people see something, recognize if they like it or not.
Hmm.
You see that Mississippian culture with a red bandana. They don't connect it with being Moorish. Like they really sleep. You really gotta wake up.
Can't force somebody to wake up, get angry with you.
Real.
You know? Everybody know where that red, black, and white coming from.
Exactly. For sure. Man, you know it's been real, man. I'm gonna definitely probably upload this. Y'all gotta start checking out my YouTube. You know, I got a lot of YouTube gold, man. I've been doing it for some years, so y'all can check out the old videos, new video, whatever. Go on my main page and hit that, that YouTube button. That whatever button that is that take you to other links, on my main page. Yeah, for sure. That Corsican flag, but make it so bad. That's the independent flag of Corsica. When they became independent, they put the bandana over the Moor's eyes. But the original Republic of Corsica, it doesn't have, the bandana over the eyes. You know how it goes. Show. I
In the
appreciate you,
last,
it's me, Mr. Fresh. My brother been supporting me since he walked in the building. Feel me? Lord talk in the building. I know that brother could have added a lot. I wish y'all would have been here, man. I got to just share it better next time. Hey, and I appreciate you coming up, Beetle.
yeah, no problem, man.
You already know it's one love.